Most people believe that saving money is wisdom. They are wrong. And somewhere deep down, you already feel it. You work, you cut back, you put something aside, and yet nothing changes. The numbers sit still. Life doesn't move, and a quiet frustration builds inside you, not loud enough to name, but heavy enough to carry. This is the story of a man who learned the hardest truth of money, not from a book, not from a banker, but from an empty cupboard and a small child's hunger. His name was Elias, and for most of his life, he was known by one word: lazy. He didn't work much. He sat beneath an old tree in the village, tilted back in a wooden chair, eyes somewhere far away, dreaming out loud about the shop he would open, the land he would one day buy, the life that was always just around the corner. People laughed at first, then they stopped. Laughter turns to pity when nothing ever changes. His wife, Mira, would watch him from the doorway. She never spoke with cruelty, only truth. Life does not live on plans, she would say. Life lives on work. He would nod and sit back down. Years passed. One night, his grandson, Ryan, barefoot, thin, voice quieter than a child's voice should be, walked to him and asked, "Grandpa, is there bread?" Mira opened the cupboard, empty. In that silence, something broke in Elias, not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly cracked, the way old wood splits in the cold. Dreams cannot be eaten. Ideas cannot fill a stomach. That night, he did not sleep. By morning, shame had become motion. He went to work in the fields, day labor, the lowest rung. The sun burned, his back bent, his hands, soft from years of doing little, split open against the soil. He came home each evening, smelling of sweat, silent, with coins in his palm that barely lasted the week. Food took the money, medicine took the money, emergencies took the money, and still the roof leaked, and still the plates were never full. One afternoon at the village store, he heard men speaking in low voices. "The secret is saving. Save and you are safe." Those words lodged somewhere in his chest. That night, he found a glass jar, hid it under the bed, and every week, after buying only what was needed, he dropped coins inside. The sound of each coin hitting glass, it felt like hope. But here is what most people don't realize about saving money. It is not safe. It is an illusion of safety. Months passed. The jar is filled, and Elias felt for the first time something close to pride. One morning, he walked to the market. He set the coins on the table. 3 sacks of corn, he said. The seller counted, shook his head. Prices went up. This buys 1.5. Elias froze. Money loses value, the seller said simply, not with malice, just as a man states the weather. On the walk home, the jar felt heavier than it ever had. That night, he poured every coin on the table and counted again and again. The number never grew. Ryan sat beside him and asked softly, "So what is the use of saving, Grandpa?" Elias had no answer. And here is where the story turns, because this is the question that changes everything, not just for Elias, but for anyone who has ever worked hard and felt like the water keeps slipping through their hands. Dead money dies. It sits, it waits, it loses a little of itself every day to inflation, to time, to the slow erosion of everything that stands still. You were never taught this. You were taught to save, to be careful, to be responsible, and responsibility was dressed up to look like a jar beneath the bed. But a jar is a tomb for your potential. The question is not, how much can I hold? The question is, what can I make this become? One morning, Elias sat on the porch, weak, uncertain, and watched his neighbors walk past. One carried eggs, another bottles of milk. They moved without fear, without that tightness behind the eyes. and he remembered something Ryan had said weeks ago, the kind of thing only a child says, because children haven't yet learned to distrust simple solutions. What if we buy chickens? Elias took what little remained and bought a few thin, barely standing chickens. When he let them loose, Ryan ran after them, laughing. Now we have an egg factory. At first, 1 egg, maybe 2. They ate some, they sold some. With the small profit, another chicken, then another. Elias kept a small notebook, every egg recorded, every coin traced. Something shifted. The work no longer felt like a chain. It felt like a conversation between effort and return, between what he put in and what quietly grew back. One afternoon, Elias sat on the porch, weak, uncertain, and said to Ryan, "This is worth more than any jar of coins. It feeds us today, it grows tomorrow, and it does not lose value by simply existing." Ryan hugged him. "So you're not lazy anymore, Grandpa?" The old man smiled, eyes wet. "No, my child, I finally understood the difference between holding and growing. You've felt this before, the quiet desperation of working harder and gaining less, the sense that something is wrong, but you can't name it. Here is the same. You were taught to protect money, but money only grows when it moves. A seed buried in a sealed jar does not become a tree. A seed planted in uncertain soil, in the right hands, with patience and attention, becomes something you can live beneath. This is not about chickens. This is not about investment strategies or market theory. This is about understanding that the resources you have, however small, are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to be put to work. Even one chicken, even one small deliberate step. You are no longer someone who waits for more before they begin. You are no longer someone who mistakes stillness for security. You are becoming someone who looks at what little they have and asks, not is this enough, but what can this become? That is the only question that has ever built anything worth keeping. The jar stayed under the bed, forgotten. When neighbors came to buy eggs, Elias would sometimes point to the yard, alive with noise and motion, and say quietly, "Saving money is like holding water in your hands. It always slips away. Make it move, even if you start with almost nothing. Start small, start honestly, but start with the intention to grow, not to hold." The tree you sit under one day was planted by someone who didn't wait until the season was perfect. If something in this spoke to you, let it stay with you a little longer before you move on. That stillness after a lesson, that is where the real change begins. Until our next video, stay tuned and subscribe to Pocket Philosophy. Thank you.